welcome to Let's Talk Slots. I'm here at the Harrah's in Kansas City. We're going to play some Fortune Frenzy while talking about the story of how rabbits were introduced to the Australian outback, and it was a huge disaster. So we're going to play $1.75 spins here, $1.76. Trying to pop the trees, obviously. You got free spins, you got Frenzy, and you got Jackpot. Hopefully we'll pop them so I don't have to explain them, but how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. I've been trying to decompress and relax from my trips from Las Vegas, trying to get things all settled and situated, and basically just trying to get things back on track. There's a couple things I want to introduce to my videos, which is a little bit better editing. I keep talking about adding After Effects so I can start doing, cool things with titles and words and whatever else than the basic whatever. But I don't know. That's just my own personal update. All right, so let's talk bunnies in the Australian outback. So this guy by the name of Thomas Austin, in 1859, he was a English settler of Australia, and he was a hunting enthusiast. So he wanted something that he could hunt regularly on his settlement. And so he thought, well, I'll bring 24 rabbit because, that won't be a bad idea. And his reason is quoted as, because it would be nice to have a bit of home and something to hunt. So he brought rabbits basically from England and figured it was just a few bunnies, and that because of the harsh Australian environment, that the bunnies wouldn't do anything crazy like do what they do, which is multiply quickly. And he was hilariously wrong, I guess if you want to say it that way. And basically the rabbits love the Australian climate, but also more importantly, they didn't have any predators there. So typically in most ecosystems, there's some sort of predator which keeps things at bay. And then when the predators get too many and they eat too many of the prey, then they die off and then the prey grow. And so there's like a symbiotic circle of these things. And there was no circle in the Australian outback because there was basically nothing that ate rabbits. And the reason is that this is an issue is because rabbits can actually breed at 4 months old, and they can produce as many as 50 offspring a year. So if you do that kind of math, it gets crazy real quickly, real fast. So at 4 months old, they can start producing 50 offspring every year. And so within 10 years, there were millions of rabbits hopping across the southeastern Australia. So hilarious start to the story. It gets even crazier. So I'm gonna take a second from the story to assess where I'm at. I think here there's nothing. I'm gonna try maybe 2 cents. Let's see how this goes for us. Same bet, just 2 cents. When I changed, hold on. Yeah, when I change denomination, the trees don't change. And that's the 100% telltale sign that the perceived progression doesn't mean anything. Double pop. So have you guys played this Fortune Frenzy? What do you guys think of this game? I like it. I'd had a video on it where I just randomly played it. I think it was my new games of Harrah's in Kansas City episode. And I did pretty well on it. I think I hit 500 and something on like $1.76 bet, or even less. Can't remember. Did we get it? All right, free spins. Now we can pop the others in this, so. All right, that's nice. 5 of a kind. Pop. Pop the red. Nope. You can also repop the free spins. Good? Jackpot? Nope. Red? No. Gotta pop something else. All right. Not the worst bonus I've ever seen. About 15 times the bet. So much like the Chinese that were trying to keep out the Mongolians, the Australians thought it'd be a great idea to build a fence, which is now called the world's longest, fence. It was supposed to be a rabbit-proof fence that stretched for 2,000 miles to basically contain the outbreak of rabbits. And they still found, I mean, if any of you have ever dealt with rabbits, because I have, actually when I was in one of my childhood homes, we had rabbits, and they're just extremely hard to get rid of if you were trying to get rid of them. Eventually, we just kind of started feeding them. we just decided to go with it and feed them. If you can't, beat them, join them. But anyway, it's almost impossible to get rid of rabbits, and they figure out ways to get around fences. Not to mention that maintaining a 2,000-mile long fence would just be nearly impossible. And so when that didn't work, they tried a whole bunch of different things. They tried basically opening it up to where, basically encouraging everybody to shoot them, to trap them, to poison them. They tried even explosives. And then they did something even more hilarious, which is they decided to introduce foxes. Because, how are you this morning? Because, like introducing wild animals that aren't part of the, subspecies, what could go wrong? So basically the same thing happened to foxes that happened to the rabbits, which is they had no known predators and they just ran rampant, and they also became an issue. So then, having all the physical measures taken care of and still the rabbits were an issue, they introduced biological, warfare. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, so I hope I can. So basically, scientists released a known virus that is really bad for rabbits, and I think it's called the myxoma virus. And it worked to get rid of about 90% of the rabbit population. But the issue is that typically when there's a viral infection in the animal kingdom, including in humans, there are always, the survivors are always pretty much immune to that particular virus, and they become stronger for it. So they got rid of 90% of the population, but again, it started to reproduce and double quickly. And the issue, if you don't know, with rabbits is that they basically eat everything, including crops. And so they cause millions of dollars worth of damage, which we'll get into here in a little bit. Come on, rabbit, do something good. Let's min bet nickels. Min bet nickels, 290. We'll try this for a little bit. Because 1 cent and 2 cent didn't do anything for us. So then they thought, well, at least it got rid of 90% of the population. So again, in the 1990s, they tried another virus, which was the Kaliki virus. Not sure how to pronounce it. But once again, it did the same exact thing that the original virus did in the 1950s. So the first virus they introduced was in the 1950s. The second one was in the 1990s. So and then come on, pop. Nah. The issue is that it costs Australia over $200 million a year in damages and control efforts. So they not only multiply, but the issue is they eat crops and they cause other issues. And it costs $200 million just to keep them under control. So in the end, this all started with just 24 rabbits. and a guy thought it would be fun to hunt some rabbits. So he introduced them to the area, and basically they caused huge destruction. And in history, it's basically one of the fastest and most destructive biological invasions in recorded history. So, all right, one-of-a-kind rabbits, $45. That's not bad. So in the end, what do you think? Should we take up rabbit hunting in Australia? I wonder if does like 6 of them automatically award it? It says 3 or more free spins. I bet 6 or more. Because we've gotten 5 a couple times. Yeah, 6 or more red triggers the frenzy feature. We've gotten 5. What are we doing here? Let's see. Let's go ahead. We're going to up it to 580. All right, Rabbit, now's your chance. Now's your chance to prove you're not a invasive species, that you're not a nuisance. All right, quit running by and do something. Can we get a double pop? That's the real way to make money in this game, is double pop. Double pop? Nope. Got our bet back on that one. We're basically down to our last 10 bets. Got to do something, Rabbit. $11. Did I get it? All right, nice. We got the jackpots. Now we just need to get the jackpots. Miner's 120. Grand is 10,800. Oh, free spins. Frenzy. Megas is 1,600. Grand. Grand or Mega? Frenzy. Ah. All right, $60 mini. Oh, 8 free spins awarded. Well, all right then. All right, Rabbit. Can we get the frenzy? Four more spins. Ah. Come on, frenzy. Nope, no frenzy. Ah, 5 again. All right, not terrible. 117. Well, let's see if it's got anything left in it. We'll play it down to 100, or maybe we'll up our bet at 100. That's more like my style. I'll probably up my bet at 100. All right, here we go. All right, Rabbit, quit hopping around. Do something. 3 more. Ah. All right, 3 more. Nope. All right, 4 of those things. $24. for those things again. Not as much, because we only had one line instead of two. Pop, nope. All right, last chance. Oh, there's no wage saver. All right, last chance. Nope. That was Fortune Frenzy and a story about bunnies. I appreciate every like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.